Peace be unto you. This is Black Light. We're going into the fifth installment of Common Sense. This is the cyber ministry of the Aboriginal Universal Supreme Council of the Elder. And common sense, when we use it, when the black man uses it, a lot of times we're talking about mother wit, you know. But let me throw on my bifocals here, and we're going to see what the Caucasian meant when he said that. The Caucasian said, common, pertaining to many or to all, not unusual. The first meaning was pertaining to many or to all. Now let's get off into that. Now that means what's common in that vicinity or that region, you know. And then number two, the second meaning means not unusual. Well, something that's regular, you know, that you see or hear every day. Then number three, now this is where it get deep. Low in rank or status. Now then, that's talking about a lowly person, common, ordinary person in the street. That's lowly, according to definition number 4. Definition number 5, area of public land in a village. You know. Then you got common law. Let's see what that says. Law based on custom and court decisions. You know. Now, before we get too deep into this, I want to read. We're talking about the Constitution, and we're going to go to section 10. Of the Constitution. It says, no state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque or reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver, coin a tender in payment of debts past, any bill of attainder ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. Now, remember what I said right there. We get cool again. Because even though we're not part of the Constitution, King tried to make them live up to the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and he succeeded to the point of where we get what you call a pass in the Bill of Rights, where every 10 years they have a civil rights law that they got to vote on to give you civil rights. No matter what president, Obama, whatever, they never changed the law or changed that bill or whatever they call that. So every 10 years it comes up and they have to, the Congress have to vote on whether to extend you civil rights. And then they diluted that meaning of civil rights. And they said, they used the word minority. And then when it came down to hiring on jobs, your rights was protected through this bill or through this law called the Civil Rights. I don't forgot the actual term of it, but it's a law pertaining to minorities having a certain status in this system. And then the Caucasian white woman, she diluted it when she argued the point that she's a minority. And then now you got the homosexual community diluting it even further and saying that they should have civil rights to be in this system and to get the benefits of this system. Now, we don't use our common sense, because we scatterbrained. And this is why I say, Sa Neter, he further induces the divide and conquer strategy that the Caucasian been using for hundreds of years with those debates, because those debates get heated to the point where brothers be wanting to kill each other. But I know it ain't nothing but a show, because it's like Muhammad Ali, when he wanted to draw, he used, and he got his strategy from wrestling, from this guy named Gorgeous George. And wrestling, man, they got a good guy and a bad guy. And the guy, he don't play fair. The bad guy don't play fair. But he gets the most, he becomes the star. The bad guy always becomes the star of the show. For some reason, the people admire that bad guy and relate to that bad guy. So Muhammad Ali, he used that strategy. And when they getting ready to promote a fight, Ali will talk about the guy and make him bad. Well, that's the same strategy that Sa Neter is using. And we don't have no true black news to report from the people in the streets point of view. And when they do interview a person in the streets, our people in the street, they could turn it around, flip it, and put a spin on it. So we want true interview from the street. That's why I like that brother. It's a brother that got an alternative news channel, Brother Tazadak Bey. He got a new, sort of like a news channel, and I'm glad of that, But actually, these two brothers should be working in conjunction with each other, give the people a more of a variety and a more of a, a more of a complete people on the street point of view, because, now we got television. Let's break that terminology down. Tell lies with vision. Tell lies with vision. It's a propaganda tool. Propaganda don't have to be positive or negative. It's just a tool, to propagate something. Now, Sa Neter, he's a genius at that, propagate. But he's using it in the wrong way. He's not using common sense. And those dollars that he's making, you know, him and Polite, you know. Actually, you know, when you listen to Sinetta talk, you think ain't nobody got no sense but him, you know, because he know how to hustle. I know how to hustle just like the brother, you know. I had two uncles that were gangsters, man. I used to do the same thing, be on the streets hustling and stuff. Different things, you know. I could hustle right now. I was one of the first brothers that you seen in Detroit with a grill, with a barbecue grill. I used to get my uncle's vacant lot and just grill up, you know, barbecue and stuff like that. And then I started quit grilling up pork and started grilling up, you know, beef and chickens, so forth. So, you know, we got to learn how to help, you know, the money we get off the brothers and sisters, them the ones that we come through first. And then once we get to a certain status with the brothers and the sisters, then the Caucasian steps in and he persuades you to a certain way, you know, and everything. So my solution to this whole thing is to formulate block clubs. Formulate block clubs all over the planet. Each neighborhood, each street should have a block club. And on that block club, we should find ways to pull our resources together and flip dollars, just like the churches do. The churches, you know, you'll see them selling dinners. You see them washing cars, you know, for the church. Well, the church and the block club or the community should be working together. And they should keep that money in that vicinity. Also have a savings. I suggest, you know, you have an account with the church. See, because the church is no tax. And the church really shouldn't get into that 501(c)(3) thing, you know, because that's when you're getting into the government, you know, and so it should be a separation between church and state. So that's how they trick you. Now this is a Grand Mount community. They got block clubs, but they got the Rosedale and the Grand Mount community locked down. You know, and these brothers, and there's some Muslims. Let me throw on my glasses again. I'm gonna shut this one down in a few. Mary Muhammad was secretary, and Mushin Muhammad is a member. And they had this was dated May 2010. I used to live in that community, but now I'm in Harper Woods. So we're gonna come back. This is Black Light Out.